All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of the Leadership Blend television show with your amazing and phenomenal host, Ricardo D. Rice. All right, so, I'm all about relationship building and interpersonal relationships, and who better to have with you than family, and extended family. So today we're going to look at real estate. Yes, the wonderful world of real estate, but we're going past just realtors, and we're going past just investing. We're talking about the whole shebang. So, I had to bring the best and the brightest on today. So my sister is here all the way from Hilton Head Island, none other than Miss Carmen Washington. How are you today, big sis?
I am wonderful. Thank you, big little brother, for having me. I'm so happy.
I'm elated. I'm not going to tell anybody anything else about you, so tell them about you. Who are you, what you do, all that good stuff.
Okay, cool. I am Carmen Washington. They call me the Godmother of Real Estate. I have been in real estate for the last, actually 18 years. 2 years as an appraiser, and then 16 years as a real estate agent, and actually 16 years, 13 in the broker. That's the bottom line. And I am the owner of Signature Real Estate Group on beautiful Hilton Head Island, South Carolina. And I am just excited. Again, been in business for a long time, passionate. I put all the friends and family in it. You're the only one who's not. Everybody else.
I know, and I knew I was going to come up at some point. I knew you was going to slide that in there. It's fine.
Of course. But I'm glad to be here.
All right, so tell me about how this all started. Like, how did this start? Because just for reference, we've known each other for over 20 years. We worked at Tommy Hilfiger together in Bluffton, and laughed and giggled the whole time, and she just became big sis. So fast forward 20 years for you to have your own firm, which is the part that blows me, your own firm. I mean, building and all, we talking about a firm, building and all, in the luxurious Hilton Head, which is not known for housing many minorities, and you managed not only do it, but do it at that magnitude. How did we get there?
Well, honestly, prayer. I went through this time where I was just like in prayer with God. It's a real intimate time. And I just remember him one day saying, I want you to go into real estate. And I was like, and at the time I was still in my first career, which was hair. And I owned salons as well. And so I was like, wait a minute, real estate? He was like, yeah. I said, yeah, but I don't know. And he was like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And so I blindly took a walk, a faith walk. And here I am many years later.
But when you started as a realtor, who were you working for? Because you were working for somebody before you started
yours.
Yes.
I was working for several people. I mean, I've worked for Gina Scott Realty, Fraser's Prestige Properties, Keller Williams Exit, and then now Signature Real Estate Group.
All right. So what are some of the joys of working in real estate? So we will get to the nitty gritty when we come back from break. But this is the light stuff. So what are some of the joys?
Us. And for those of you who don't know, not only is he my little brother, we are birthday twins.
Twinsies.
We're both Halloween babies. And I'm telling you, so we just love people. We're just natural people persons. And so doing something so intimate and so great and so fabulous and being a part of that, it just gives me joy. I mean, me, myself, when I bought my first home, I thought I was going to faint when I opened the door. I was like, oh, Lord, this is mine, Jesus, be offense. And so doing that over and over again is just, I don't know, it's just a joy. Working with people, I'm a natural. And then I remember also the process with myself, not knowing certain things and how I felt and being scared and all that kind of stuff like that. So, I basically just was everything I wanted in a real estate agent, if that makes sense. So.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what did it need for you to actually house your first firm? Like, what did it take? Did you take seed money? Did you get a loan? How did you do it?
No, I did not. I'm nicknamed the Godmother of Real Estate for a reason. I negotiated a very, very good
That's what I never knew. That's where that name came from?
Yes, that's actually it was another agent of mine who actually is a mentee of mine, and she just was like, oh, there she goes, the Godmother. And people just kind of, at first I was kind of like, Godmother, because I got these gold teeth, I'm a big woman, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I don't know if I want to be like a gangster Godmother. I mean, I don't, like the Sopranos type thing. I wasn't quite sure. But then I said, you know what? And I'm too big to be a fairy. I mean, look at these hands. So I just thought like, this is just too much. So then I said, you know what? I'm gonna let them figure it out. Because when I go hard for my clients. So that's the gangster. And of course, to them, I'm a blessing. So that's the fairy. So it works. You choose.
I'm one of y'all friends. It's going to be absolutely ridiculous today because it's all we do when we get together is laugh. But we're going to take our first break, and when we come back, we're going to have more with the Godmother of Real Estate, Mrs. Carmen Washington. So we'll see you in just a second. All right, we are back with my big sis, the godmother of real estate, all the way from, I have to keep saying that, all the way from Hilton Head Island, 5-hour drive to be with her little brother.
Yes.
All right, so now let's get down to the nitty gritty. So what is the difference between a realtor, a broker? What is the difference?
You know, I'm so glad you break that down because so many people get that so confused. They think when they become, when they take the test and they pass that they are a realtor. You are not. You are a salesperson is what you are. You're a real estate salesperson, so you can sell. Becoming a realtor is actually almost like a fraternity or a sorority, if you will. It's just like a higher level. It's just a special group. Then you have all these. You're supposed to be more ethical, more professional, and there's certain things that come along with that when you get the realtor. So that's the trademark for the R. So when you get your real estate license, you are not a realtor. Okay, you have to join the association, the National Association of Realtors, to become a realtor.
Is there a criteria to that, or you have to? Is some time you have to take after you pass the test?
No, most time if your firm is a part of it, they pretty much already implemented certain standards and everything for conduct and how business is supposed to be done, and so then therefore you just kind of come on board with that.
All right, so if I take the test, pass the test, what should be my next step?
To get with a broker. Actually, you probably would have already interviewed a few brokers beforehand because you have to be under a broker. And that's the thing. So a broker would be equivalent to mom and dad. We're like the parents, if you will, of real estate. So every real estate professional, licensed agent, salesperson, a realtor, whatever, has to work under a broker in charge. So that's what I am. I'm owner, broker in charge.
Is there a period of time they have to do that before they can make it?
Yeah, before you become a broker in charge, it's at least 4 years. And then after that, then it's just like almost a life sentence because, basically, you're responsible for all of the agents. So it's your job to make sure that they're in compliance and doing what they're supposed to be doing.
All right, so I get up and make sure I got this timeline right. I passed my exam, which those laws vary for every state, correct?
Correct, they do.
Because I know in Georgia, apparently we have to have the most hours.
You do. I don't know about if you have to have the most, but you definitely have to have more than South Carolina.
Because y'all's were like 20 something?
Something to that. I've been licensed for a long time ago when I was young. Okay, so
that's your you don't remember? Okay, fine. I know ours was like, because I started, it was like 75, which I have the hours I see take tests.
So we're 60.
Story.
You're right.
It's like 70 something.
Correct.
So I take the test, pass the test, and I can't just start showing houses.
No.
So I need to find...
Yeah, you need to find a good real estate broker, one that's going to be able to give you support, train you, and that's basically just kind of be there for you. Everybody doesn't always need... Some people obviously they are they need a lot of hand holding, and some of them just kind of take it off and they just run with it. And so you're just there to kind of monitor them to make sure that, of course, they're in compliance and they understand what's going on. So
what should a salesperson look for in a good broker to work under?
Like I said, support. And these days I say technology. It's always a thing. I answer my phone all the time. My agents call me on the weekends, at night, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And it's cool because if I'm not doing anything, it's okay. So I answer the phone just to make sure because, real estate is different, but most people think it's like 9 to 5. A lot of times people will, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to call you on a Sunday. I'm sorry to call you after 5. I was like, honey, we run the second shift because people look for houses and stuff when they're off work and on the weekends. So a lot of times, it may be 11 to 12 o'clock when an agent is writing an offer or negotiating or doing whatever. It just depends. So I just try to be there to answer all the questions and everything for them. Okay, they don't think that I sleep, but I do.
You sure you do? Because I don't think you do either. I'm gonna start calling you like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
I'll be like, hello.
What you do?
Hey, bro, what's up?
So
yes.
All right. So I passed my test. I find a broker to work under, and then I can start selling houses and stuff of that magnitude.
Well, yeah, you can, and a lot of agents will say things like, "Oh, well, what's the time for the average agent before you get a deal?" And I said, "Well, don't come over here trying to be average. Don't worry about what the status quo is. Just set your goals and and what you want to do, and that's what I'm big on as well. At Signature Real Estate Group, I want everybody to make sure they're setting goals so they understand it's clear, where they are. My company is set up a little bit differently. Most of the time with brokers usually take, 20 to 40% of whatever the gross is, of commission for easy numbers. If you have a $10,000 commission, the broker's going to get $4,000. Mine's not set up that way. So I'm actually like a transaction broker is what they would call me. Your transaction. So we don't do a split, because that's what we call it when you do that on the commission. It's 100%. They just pay a transaction fee of $1,000 and everything else is theirs. So therefore, yeah, I know, right?
So when we done, I need to talk to you about that because
come on through.
Because that's what made you decide that? Because that's less money for you, right?
It is. There's a lot less money for me. It definitely is. I really wanted like when Signature actually approached me, because I didn't know anything about Signature because they actually were based out of Vegas, but when they approached me about it, I was like, no, I don't feel like it. I mean, again, I'd been selling real estate at that time for, 12 years, and I was like, oh, I don't want the headache, I don't want to be bothered, yada, yada, and they just kept on, and then finally, I just thought about it. I said, you know what, maybe, there's some things in the industry that I would like to change, practices and everything. That just gives me the opportunity to do it, because now I'm the boss.
You always the boss, but that's you always the boss. All right, so we're gonna take our second break. When we come back, we're gonna get into being the boss and where the money resides. So stick around on the Leadership Blend with your host, Ricardo D. Rice. All right, so we're back on this episode of the Leadership Blend with my big sister, the godmother of real estate, all the way in Hilton Head Island, Mrs. Carmen Washington. Now, you gave us the breakdown on that. You started giving us a breakdown on owning your own. So let's get into owning your own. Like once you got into it, because I didn't know this is a brand that you can't. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so how did that work?
Well, like I said, the owners of the franchise, they were kind of running me down. They want to kind of expand into the East Coast or whatever. I had actually been introduced to them by an amazing agent by the name of Johnny Lowy, and he was with the company for a time. And so he said, I met this great agent when I was in Hilton Head. You got to meet her. She's office. I was with Exit at the time, and I was like, and I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I had to pray about it, fast over it and the whole nine, and then. I came on through. So I'm glad, really, because like I said, there were so many things I want to change. I wanted to make sure that culture, sometimes some places that were missing culture, they were missing support, training, all that. You just felt like a number, a lot of places. You just felt like a dollar sign, if you will. And so I want to, be able to add more to it.
Actually, I'm glad you brought, because I teach on these things. So I'm glad you brought these things up. So what is the culture of Signature? What was your goal with culture?
Fun.
What we do best.
Hello.
That's what we do best.
Yes, fun and production. So I like to do a mix. I mean, I'm definitely not one to hawk over your shoulder unless I feel like you need that or whatever. But it's just like fun. I know the rules. I'm strict on it. I want to make sure that you understand. I'm going to be very transparent and tell you what you need. I mean, Signatures is based off of support and off of technology, culture, obviously, and of course the money, because we want to be where the money resides. I put that on who? Mary Had a Little Lamb. So we're based on the, and of course, in marketing and in technology. So you got to have those elements, especially now after COVID. People aren't. When I first started real estate back in a long time ago,
you tried it. You tried it. Okay, you tried it.
Somebody would come into the office and they would say, "Hey, we want to buy a house," and they would sit down and you'd flick through paper and look and see what listings that you had. And they were listings that were, compiled of all the different brokerages in the area. And so it was really, really old school. So they needed you. But now everything's online. I mean, people swear up and down that, these online ones are like Zillow and all that kind of stuff is where the stuff is, but it's really not. A lot of that information is wrong. So, but when they come to your website, you want to be the resource. You want to be the one that they look to. I mean, you're the guru. This is what you do 100%. So.
Spoken like a true empress. Talking like a true empress of her own empire.
Would be myself, yes. And so being a boss, like I said, you can change and implement things in a lot of ways. Being the boss, you're responsible for everybody in their ways.
Literally.
So a lot of times you're not always the favorite, if you will, because I don't allow favoritism. I don't allow cliques. I want everybody to get along as one. Let's have a good time, make plenty of money, and go and live your best life.
So how many agents do you have currently?
12.
You have 12 agents?
Yes.
How many men?
1.
That's discrimination. That's misogynistic on the opposite side. I just want to bring that up. Because if that was the opposite, y'all be like, well, you ain't got but one female. You got 12 agents.
Well, let me just say something about the men's, okay? A lot of times, I'm an alpha female. It is very hard.
Say that again. I want you to say you're a what?
Alpha female.
Okay, that's what makes you say that.
Yes, okay. Do I need to say it loud for the people in the back? Okay. And so a lot of times, some men, not all, have an issue working under a female. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way that things are. And then here's the thing. You ready for this? a black female. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so let's pull a rug from under the table. All right, so because let's be very clear. Like, I've known you for 20-something years.
Yes.
So I know you have this boisterous personality, and you're that chick. Do you fall victim to the angry black woman when you were in business?
No. I don't even know. I mean, again, my experience, and again, you've known me forever. I'm not an angry black woman. I mean, I'm going through a divorce right now. Child, I'm not hating on men. I'm looking for my next one. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because
that's not scripted. That's not scripted. I just want to point that out.
No, it's not. This is a natural thing. Because one monkey don't stop no show. I know too many other monkeys. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I definitely, without question, it's not about, this. I feel like when people have that type of attitude, all jokes aside, that they're a victim. And I'm not a victor. I'm a victor. Okay? I'm set out to win. I know when I start wherever I know where I'm going. I know where the end result is going to be. Now, what I encounter on the way is all kind of what it is. But at the end of the day, I stay focused on what I have to do. So I don't come to be angry. I'm also, another thing too, I am so passionate about life. I believe that life is a song worth singing. And so I'm just glad to be along in the number. I really, really am. So if you get another day, you get another opportunity. So what you mad for? Suck it up and let's go. See you at the top or from the top, your choice. You feel me?
Yes. I'm not doing this with you. So we're going to take our last break, and when we come back, we have more of my big sister on the Leadership and Television Show with the host, Ricardo D. Rice. All right, so we're back with my big sister, all the way from Hilton Head Island, the godmother. I love the way that sounds. You calling that thing the godmother of real estate, Miss Carmen Washington. All right, so let's talk about your personal journey. Like, if there were things, I know I'm going to ask a question, but for you, I'm going to.
Okay.
What do you know now that you did not know then, that you would tell particularly a minority female who wants to get where you're at in real estate?
Well, case in point, I told that to your niece, my daughter. Okay, and she is.
You talking about the exceptional one that excels?
If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do that.
Facts.
Okay,
Facts.
That is the Wonder Woman of real estate, my baby girl, DeAndre Gray. And so a lot of things that I didn't know, I didn't understand, right down to even making the kind of money that I was open up to. It's a lot of things that you just don't know. It's just trial and error. And so for me, it was a pioneer, because even currently, I'm the only black-owned company in Hilton Head and Bluffton. So it's just a process. Sometimes it's not always the support, and it's not even like people are hating on you. They're just kind of like, that's a little bit different. So you got to just kind of figure it out as you go on, and you really just don't know. So I would say,
give me two. What were two of the biggest things, the two biggest obstacles that you had to deal with? I'm sure you had 20, but okay, top three. Give me the top three.
Me, my appearance. My appearance was definitely one thing, because I'm over the top. Y'all see all these little bling nails and long and gold teeth and hair down my back and the lashes are long. So that's a lot, because honestly, in this profession is, especially when I came in, it was considered to be a Caucasian profession. So you saw, middle-aged white men and white women. That was them. So when you started seeing blacks, even now you don't see a lot of us. Yeah. It was just like, and if you did see them, they were really conservative. I mean, they wore pearls, their hair was pinned to the back. And I mean, I'm not hating on that, but I'm a hoop type girl, So, and I'm a bling type chick. So it's just what I do. So my personality, a lot of times people kind of will prejudge you, like anything, obviously, of course. Once they hear me speak, though, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just whatever. I make them move buildings. So, you know what I'm saying? And then my numbers also, my production has been really great, because I relate to people. People always think, well, Carmen is over there selling those $1 million houses. That was not true, okay? I wasn't selling $1 million houses, but I was selling them $1 million worth. So it's the same 30,000, except for now I've, run across the same, I've run across 10 families instead of, but back when we had $100,000 houses, we don't have those anymore. But you run across more families or whatever like that to do that, and you impact their lives. And so, I sell houses 2 and 3 times the same house, because they buy their first house with me, and then when they get ready to move up, because in your lifetime you should buy 5, but when they get ready to move up, then they call me again, and then they tell all their friends about them, because I make them feel like $1 million. I don't care what the commission is. This is not about that. This is about you are going from a renter to an owner. You can paint the wall pink if you want to, okay? I'll get your brush. And it's just like, whatever you want to do. And so I just love that. And so, like I said, in your lifetime, you should buy 5 houses. So you have your starter house, you have your move-up house, You have your dream house, you have your vacation and your retirement home.
Are you supposed to keep all these houses as you move, or you sell them as you move?
Well, it depends on, well, these days, rents are so high, people are keeping them, which is messing up the inventory, by the way. Sell the house.
Okay, since you brought that up, that was my next thing, is when I was in realtor class, like I think last year, they were saying, I was like, the inventory is getting low, so it's like, how does that work? Because there's not a back. Once you sell all the houses and the inventory is gone, what do you do?
Stay tuned. Because I don't know myself. I'm just like, I don't know if we got to, I just don't know. It's real. That's a real problem. I was actually looking in one of the communities in my area, and there were absolutely no houses for sale. And this was a luxury area, because one time, even if you have the lower stuff, that is always sell. But then the high dollar stuff is usually what sits there. But no, there was nothing for sale in the entire area, and I was like, what is going on here? So I was, even and even the ones that I've sold houses to, they're like, well, I think I'm gonna keep it and rent it. I'm like, no, I want you to sell it. I have to just go through and just give them advice. But I mean, that's the part of the problem. And then so it's this new construction, and they honestly can't build them fast enough. So
yeah, that's especially with Hilton Head. It's not like it's a buku amounts of room on that island.
Well, yeah, Hilton Head, Bluffton, Hardyville, Beaufort, all those areas, and I service South Carolina and Georgia.
You do Georgia too?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's right across the bridge, and I probably would have had to get a job at McDonald's if it hadn't, because the inventory was drying up. I was like, wait a minute, I gotta have something to sell. You gonna sell this house, ma'am, lady? I'm kidding. So
I will pay good money to see you at McDonald's flipping anybody burger.
Good
money.
Hello, I don't even eat that. So I got to be where the money resides. So basically, what I'm saying, we had to, keep up some things. So we're in talks with some people to see if we can get some more, because the inventory is really, really low.
So do you just do residential, or you do commercial as well?
No. I do commercial. As I said, even when I negotiated my space, that's commercial. I just had a big piece to go in the contract. So it's 12 acres on 170. Well, for y'all would know what 170 is, but anyway, the main highway, and it was $2.2 million. So we went on the contract with that. I'll buy lunch with that when we watch.
Yes, I heard lunch.
We're eating good.
And I know cheat day.
So yeah, so I do it all. And land, residential, whatever, it works.
All right. So parting thoughts. Any thoughts you want to leave with the viewers, the listeners, the watchers?
I just want people in general, unfortunately, so many people are just followers and they're not leaders. But if you are a part of the leader, we know it's all with the numbers game, don't be afraid to step out, to be true to yourself. And most of all, it's your mouth. Your mouth, you got to be careful with the things that come out of your mouth. And if you believe that you can do it, do it. I don't care if nobody else supports you. When I was leaving here going into real estate, nobody supported me. They told me, no, they wanted me to kind of stay into it, but I know what God told me. So, I had one cousin told me, like, you spitting in God's face because you have the blessing of these growing hands. I say, yeah, but guess what? We going on. We moving on. and I'm glad I did. So, you got to be, you can't be afraid to go against the grain, because people just naturally conform to whatever the status quo is. But hey, learn to be different, baby. It's okay. Because it's popping. And that's Godmother approved.
And that's what Mary had a little lamb.
How about that? I was about to say, that's a who? Mary had a little lamb.
How do people get in touch with you?
They can call me. Okay. You can call me directly. My direct line is 843-683-0856. 843-683-0856. You can email me, Carmen Sells Hilton Head @gmail.com, or the Carmen Sells Hilton Head team. Or you can just call the office. That's if you want the Godmother herself. But you can use any of my signature agents. They're all amazing. And the number for them is 843-715-3538. Okay, and that's the signature difference. Call us. We there.
All right, so there you have it. My big sister, all the way from Hilton Head, the boss, the Godmother of real estate. True words have not been spoken. So we will see you guys next Monday, same time, same place, on the Leadership in Television Show with your host, Ricardo D. Rice.